Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Spooky Wednesday. My name is Bella Ralston. In behalf of Faber-Castell USA and Michael Stores, would like to welcome everybody. Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We are going to be messy today because we are going to be playing with my favorite Faber-Castell gelato. So here we go. And I'm going to look at the chat, make sure I say hi to everyone before we get the class started. It is a very gloomy but very nice day here in Texas. So it's nice to not be so hot. Hello, Anita. Hi, Luke. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Mary. Hi, Dee. Hello, Tina. Hi, Maggie. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. Okay, so this class is going to be very simple, very relaxing, but also going to be very fun. So I like to make happy mess. So happy mess is when I'm playing with the gelatos. So what are the gelatos? For everyone that's new to the gelatos, welcome. And after this class, you're going to fall in love with the gelatos. Gelatos are these pigment sticks. They look like a lipstick and it actually use the same mechanism, so it's kind of like you do this and like that. And so the gelato sticks are there. It's pure pigment. So it also comes in different sets. There's brights, there's pastel colors, there's metallic, iridescent, which I love. I think my favorite, if I can just choose one set, I think I'm going to choose metallic, but all of these are so amazing. I mean, they're so versatile. At first, when I first learned about the gelatos, or first actually was first introduced to me, I'm like, how do you use these? I mean, what do I use these for? I thought they were just like fancy crayons, right? But the Faber-Castell gelatos, they are water soluble. So you can blend them with water. And there's also many different ways that you can blend these gelatos. You can blend them dry with your finger. You can use a brush, a blending brush. This is the one that I got from Michael's. So you can use a blending brush. There's many different sizes of blending brush as well. So you may find other different from, different sizes like this. And then you can also, my favorite way to blend them is using baby wipes. So with a little bit of moisture, you can really create beautiful gradients. And speaking of gradients, that is what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to do some spooky blend. So we're going to create like you can really use these colors for like galaxy also. So but spooky night because Halloween. So Luke said, how about pink? Hey, you can use pink too. I mean, you can use any color that you like, but the colors that I've picked today are going to be um purples and a little bit of pinks actually, and a bit of blue. And this is what's going to help us. I did include the colors in the list that I've sent. So you should have those. But if you don't have the exact colors, it's okay. Whatever colors you have, as long as you can play around with the gelatos, play around with the blending, I think it's going to be fun and be very helpful also. So I'm just pulling out colors that I think I'm going to be using. I have different colors from different sets. So I have some metallics in here. I have some iridescents. Um, the ones that I really love, and I've lost the lid, don't lose the lid like me, but this one, see, I don't have a whole lot anymore. This is the Galaxy. I love this color. We're going to swatch them just so you can see the difference from the iridescent and to the metallic. Because if you're just going to look at it straight up, you're going to say, well, it just looks like metallics as well, the iridescent. There's like shiny, sparkly little, um, things. It's kind of like I say it's mica powder, so it's like glitters in there. But they really have a different effect if you're going to use it on a white paper than a dark paper. And so we'll kind of play around with that because I really want to show you that because it's so fun. So I have two iridescent. One is the amethyst and the other is blue topaz. Is that how you pronounce it? And then I'm going to use, I will also show you lunar. It's from, I think it's metallic. I can't, no, lunar is just white. Um, We got to go try it. And then one is metallic icing. And then we're going to use metallic grape. We'll do pink sapphire. I think that's it. We'll probably use metallic mint as well. I'll have a grape and then the black licorice. So I'll set these aside and we'll do a little bit of swatches because I want to show you the way I like to blend my gelatos. And like what I said with the gelatos, some you can use it on a canvas, you can use it on a fabric, you can use it on a mixed media paper, regular paper, you can use it on a watercolor paper, you can use it on a canvas. But to me, if working on a canvas, I love it, but sometimes I prefer when the canvas is already prepped. That means I've already used some gesso and even some journals. I sometimes use some gesso for before I use the gelatos. It's just because it blends much, much better. But the papers that I'm going to use today, I don't have gesso. I didn't prep any of it, but it's still going to blend so beautifully. So I want to show you that you don't have to use gesso to use the gelatos. You might just work a little extra to create the beautiful blends. But if you would like a seamless or a more easier blending, gesso is really, really, really good. So I'm just gonna pull out, hold on.
And like you said that you lost the cap to that one. Do you find that do they dry out at all?
I don't think so. No. So we're gonna use this one and you guys can see. No, they don't dry for some thank you, Lord. But I think I have lost this for months now. So this is the first time I'm gonna use it again. Yes, months. I'm not kidding. So hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in just so we can swatch it. And then I've also got some black paper in here to use for swatching. Oh, I think I have some swatches in here, the gelatos. Okay. So the metallics are also going to show on a white, on the black, but it's a different effect. I'm going to show you. So this one is the iridescent. This is the Tanzanite. So you're going to see the colors are going to be so different on the black, and then it's going to be very different on white. Look at this. And it's the same one. Look at that. So you get two different results, two different colors. So you can play around with that. Okay. And then we'll try the metallic this time. I'm going to not want to lose my lid. So let's see, the metallic will show up on the black, also black paper. And then we'll use this one on a white paper. So as you can see, you still get different results. Whoa, that is like blinding. And then that is the result on a black surface. Isn't that fun? Now we're going to see if the galaxy will show up on black. And then it still shows up. It's there. This is the one that I don't have a lid. And that's what it looks like on a white paper. So pretty. All right. And then we'll do the pink one. This is the pink sapphire. I love this color. Really, really love this color, actually. And then I'm also going to be using some white Faber-Castell PITT Artist pen. And I actually have another pen, which is a Posca pen. And I also have the Copic Opaque White. This is the one that I'm going to use just for kind of like splatters of white for stars or anything like that. That's what we have. Look at this color to this color. So this is a black. It's the same one. This is the pink sapphire. It's just so fun playing with it. And so if you have like different projects and you feel like, you know what, I'm going to use it on a dark surface this time. This is also an iridescent set. This one is Stardust. And this is what it looks like on a white paper. Yay. All right. So that was so fun. Now to blend the gelatos, like what I said, you can blend it in so many different ways. I'll set my stuff aside just so I have space in here. I also have a baby wipes in here. So if you have water, that will work. But baby wipes are really, really fun to use because easy blending with the baby wipes. This one is another, it's blue topaz. I think we did this already. I'm not sure. But this one is a bright metallic teal color, aqua color on a black. It's like only the sheen is the camera's picking up the sheen color, but this is what it looks like on a white paper. It's beautiful turquoise color, actually. It's gorgeous. It's so fun. Right now to blend them. Like what I said, you can use your fingers just to smudge, just like this, just like that. And then what I also like to do is have a little bit of water, just spray my finger in there, and then just kind of like this. Just like that. And that's why I said we're going to have a little bit of messy fun. So I have a little bit of that color left on my finger. And so we have purple in here because there's pink and purple. So pink and blue. So we have purple. So you can blend them. If you have limited colors, then you can do a little bit of blending to mix and create your own palette. It's so fun. So Luke is asking, can I use gel pens? Yes, you can, but it's going to be very different than the application and the techniques that I'll be working and using today. So it's just different, but you can still create your own background, but it might be very hard to do that with some gel pens. I think watercolors are going to be a much better option than gel pens, because gel pens, you're only going to cover up so little space um, at a time. So that's it. I have a little bit of moisture from the baby wipes. Now you can just wrap it around your pointer finger like this. Let's blend this two colors together and see what we're going to get. Look at that. So we created this color by blending the two colors together. At that. The only problem with the baby wipes is that, especially if it's really, really wet, what's going to happen is that you're going to peel the surface of your paper. So especially if you're using a light paper, something that's not supposed to get a whole lot of moisture. So that's why it's always recommended to use a mixed media paper that's can take a little bit of moisture and water in there, or watercolor paper. It's always much better. But then again, if you're going to use just a plain surface or a plain paper, then that's where the gesso comes in. Prepping your paper really, really helps for the water to not get absorbed so much. So you're putting a barrier on top of your paper basically when you're using some gesso. So you can create like beautiful gradients like that. So the way you're going to do it, if you're going to use just a regular cardstock or a regular paper, what you're going to do is to not apply so much pressure if you're going to use the baby wipes, because the more pressure you apply in there, the more moisture is going to seep through the paper. And so the more of that paper texture you're going to peel off. And so you're going to see a little bit of kind of like that little fuzzies. That means that first layer of that paper is already peeling off, right? So just be careful with the amount of pressure that you're going to use. So blending, questions about blending before we proceed to working and creating our background today. Let's try with the blending brush. This is what we're going to be using today, are blending brushes. If you don't have the blending brush, it's okay. Just use the baby wipes or use your finger. That's going to work. I'm just making sure that I clean my brush because I use it a whole lot with different colors. And so I just want to make sure that I'm going to clean it first so I don't create other colors than what I'm intending to do. All right.
And can they use a water brush?
Yeah, a water brush will work too. The thing with a water brush is that I think what's going to be a little harder with that would be, it would just take a little bit more. So we're going to apply the gelatos first. Try it first and apply a little bit. Get a piece of paper, or just, a separate page of the paper that you're using. Apply some gelatos in there. So like this. Okay, I'm going to do 2 colors. What's going to happen is that you're just going to work a little extra than us if you're going to use some water brush. I think I have a water brush in here. And what might happen is that it might leave some strokes or marks, and it won't blend as much as ours. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. So even if we blend the colors of the gelatos, see how where I applied the gelato stayed in there, the colors. So even if we blended and we created a little bit of that purple, the mark where I applied the teal and the mark where I applied the pink is still there. So the results will be different than how I'm going to use it today. So I suggest that if you have like a little bit of water, just use your finger. I would rather use my finger than use the water brush. Does that make sense? So now let's try and use our fingers. Okay, so I'm going to apply the same thing. And where's the teal color? Let's have the teal color in here. By the way, this paper that I'm using right now is a mixed media paper. So it's not a very good quality mixed media paper, but it still works. So if you have that bowl of water, right? Because you have a water brush or a round brush, then just put a little bit of water on your pointer finger and then blend. This is going to be a much, much different result than what we got from using the water brush. And just blend your colors. So it's still there, a little bit of that application, but it's not so strong, right? So it just depends on how much water you're going to use and how much pressure you're going to use also while blending the gelatos, okay? So to me, I think I'd skip the brush, the water brush, and go in and really get dirty today with your finger, okay? All right, so that's what we're going to do. All right, I prepared some watercolor paper. Put that on the side. So I have some watercolor paper here. These are like thicker watercolor paper. So I think it's a 300 GSM, but it's not the best watercolor paper as well. So, I mean, it's not the expensive ones, the cotton, 100% cotton, but these are good watercolor paper also. You might, yes, Sandra, I like that question. Sandra's asking, what about putting the gelato on a palette and then use the water brush? That might work. Let's try it so we can get the result, okay? So I have here an acrylic block. It's just kind of like a palette also. So we're gonna apply the gelatos in here, and let's get the purple, the galaxy color, okay? So I'm just gonna apply it here. We're gonna work it kind of like a palette, just like that. And I have my water spray in here. So I'm just going to spray some water. Let me grab my water brush again. So we're going to pick this up. And this one, we're creating our watercolor. See how gorgeous this is? I mean, honestly, look at that. So this is going to work. So this would work better than applying the gelatos directly onto the paper. So now we've just created our own watercolors, and see how versatile the gelatos are. You can use it so many different ways. It works like a crayon. It works like a watercolor. It's just so fun to use. I mean, really, it's like, this is my favorite when I'm doing mixed media, really. Because look at this, you can create your own palette. Now we could have applied 2 different colors in there and blended it here. Now, if you don't have a palette, any porous, very, like, you can use a Ziploc and use that, a plastic packaging that will work as well. So I'm going to clean this up and we're going to add some teal so we can create a different color. Let's do the metallic mint. And just like what I did, I'm just going to apply it on my palette. No, my palette is still wet. So I'm just going to pick up some of that. And
Sandra also asks, once it dries, it doesn't react. Does it reactivate?
Yes. So that's one thing with the gelatos. So it's not like a watercolor where if you apply it and then you apply water to it, it will keep reacting to the water. No, it once it dries, it's going to stay in there. It's not going to move. And that is one of the very reason why I also love it. So remember, once it dries and you want to do blending, this is not going to blend. So what you want to do is you want to have you want to prepare your colors right away. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that you prep your gelatos in a separate palette before you start coloring, because it's not like a watercolor that if I apply a color on top of that purple and I want to blend that teal and purple together, they're not going to blend. So the first layer is going to be waterproof. It's not going to move. It's not going to blend. So that's the only thing. So we want to make sure that you have a palette that is bigger and then prep your colors. And then we're going to do watercolor, just kind of like any regular watercolor, but you're going to work just a little bit faster, because what you want to do is while it's still wet, if you want to do some smooth gradient and blending, while it's still wet, then that's where you're going to do your blends. So this part right here is still a little bit wet. So I can go on top of that teal and just blend a little. And here also.
And then if you choose to do this method, you just used your baby wipe to wipe it off with your palette, right? And it just cleans right off.
Yep. It just cleans it right up. Like this. All clean. Nothing's left there. All right. So I do believe that we're going to do different techniques today because everyone's working with, other things, and that's all right. But that's the reason why I wanted to show all the different ways that you can blend with your gelatos. So if you don't have the blending brush, you can work with your fingers. I mean, that's the best way anyways, but the blending will be different too. And I'll show you that. Or you can blend and create your own spooky backgrounds. It's kind of like watercolor. Use a separate palette, prep your colors like that. All right. Sandra's asking, sorry, last question. No, you can keep asking questions. That this is why I'm here. That once it dries, it doesn't reactivate. Okay, yes, I've answered that one. Exactly. So they're permanent once they're dry, but it still looks lovely. I mean, it's just a different result. I mean, again, it's art, right? So art is subjective. One is not better than the other. It's just a different technique. It's just different look. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a mixed media paper first because I want to show you the difference of what it's going to look like when we use our blending brushes. All right, I'm going to pull this one so we can have a reference. This is when we apply the gelatos directly and blended with a water brush. This is when we applied the gelatos directly and then we used our finger with water and then blended. And this is the one when we applied the gelatos in a separate palette, put water and blended it and colored the paper. Now this time I'm going to show you what it's going to look like when we use our blending brush. Now using my spray, I'm just going to moist the blending brush. If you don't have this spray water, it's okay. Use your baby wipes and kind of just dab it all over the wipes because this is wet. So you're getting a bit of that moisture. So you don't have to spray it with water. Can I use a wet foam shape to blend the gelatos? Absolutely. Yes, you can. So I would suggest applying the gelatos in another palette and then use your foam shape, kind of like stamping. So basically, you're going to stamp in, get a little bit of that ink from the gelatos, and then stamp and create your own. So, see, you can use it as an ink also. It's so fun. So, while this is still wet, I'm going to apply the gelatos on top, just like this. And then I'm gonna blend softly and I'm gonna go in a circular motion and always use another surface. So because I know I'm gonna get messy today, I added this cover on my table because I know it's gonna be a mess with all my gelatos. If you don't have any newspaper, old paper, magazines, you can just use that. Oh, the whole table is shaking. Because I really want to show you what it looks like when you create a smooth gradient using a blending brush. I mean, it's just different, very different than what we have, all of the options that we have on top. I'm just going to spray it because it's the faster way. And this time I'm going to apply, I think this is amethyst. So we have it like light purple. I'm going to clean it up because I have a little bit of that teal in there. I'm just going to go. I don't think this one is going to show up on top of my teal. So we'll grab a different color, a much brighter color. Let's grab metallic grape. So we'll do this metallic grape one. That's the thing with the iridescent. The iridescents are really meant to be layered on top of color. So think of them as kind of like very translucent. It has a little bit of pigment, but it's not going to be as bright as the other like metallic and brights, so it's going to be different. This one, you can also apply the gelatos directly if you want more coverage, if you want more opaqueness in your paper. I apply the gelatos and then I'm going to work the paper like this. So this way you can get a whole lot more pigment in your paper. Look at this one. And then I'm going to apply the same metallic mint on this side. But as always, I like showing you the different ways that you can use your gelatos, right? So you can apply it on the brush, you can apply it on the paper. So we get different results. I'm going to apply blue topaz just so I have a little bit of blue in there. So when you have like a journal to create like beautiful colors like this, it's always the fear of the white page for me. It's always like that. So for me to just apply colors, I use gelatos right away. If I just need colors and I'm like scared of what am I going to do on this page, I just apply color. No matter what it's marker, it's watercolor, apply some colors in there. Then you're not going to ruin that page anymore. So that fear of ruining the first page is gone. Just apply colors. You'll be great. So here are the different results that we have. This is applying the gelatos directly and using a water brush. This is applying the gelatos directly on the paper and then using our wet finger to smudge and blend. This is applying on a palette and then adding some water and using it as a watercolor. It's gorgeous, actually. So beautiful. And then this one is applying both the gelatos on the brush and also the gelatos on the paper. So this one you can see really that very smooth and also the metallic, the sheen you can really see in here. This one also though, you can still see it. The camera's not having a hard time picking it up, but the metallic here is beautiful. That mica powder, really you can see it there. It's like showing off. It's gorgeous. Um, yeah, okay, so yes, the Faber-Castell Gelatos. So they're made by Faber-Castell. They come in many different sets. You can buy it in brights. You can buy the pastel color, the metallic color, the iridescents. So it's my favorite. Okay, and there's also translucent. So the iridescent and the translucent, they're meant to be layered. They're not as opaque as the brights and as the metallics, but they're just as gorgeous. I mean, you get so many different results. All right, so the technique that I'm going to be doing today is going to be with a blending brush, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm just going to clean my surface. I don't really mind if the back of my bookmark is going to get dirty, because see, I'm going to do this both sides, but today we're just going to do one side because our time is limited. So here. Okay, maybe Carrie can help us with the price of the Faber-Castell while we're doing this. All right, so for my paper, again, this is a watercolor paper. I didn't do anything. I didn't prep this. We're just going to apply the gelatos directly onto the paper. If you don't have the blending brush, I would use the baby wipes or my finger. Again, remember what I said about the baby wipes earlier. Just be careful because you might ruin the first layer of your paper if you apply too much pressure. So just be mindful of the pressure that you're going to apply. So for this first background, I want to create just a smooth gradient. We're going to do different colors, different layers until we get dark. So I want to start with the iridescent, the amethyst color. And then I'm going to go in with the metallic mint and then the metallic grapes. And then I'm going to use the galaxy and the very bottom, right? So we have all these four colors. Look how gorgeous that is. Here we go. So again, I'm just going to apply my gelatos. I'm going to start with the lightest on top. I'm just going to divide it into four. And if you have a little bit of crumbles, I save it in there because those are pure pigments. So I'm just going to blend it. I'm not going to be picky. Like that. And then I'll have the metallic grape. The gelatos are also available open stock. So over at Michael's, you can buy them individually, which is, I really, really love that because that means, you know, now that I'm out of the galaxy color, I don't really want to buy the whole set if I still have a whole lot of colors from my other, my other colors. So it's like buying it as a set just doesn't make sense to me. But the problem is just the availability, hoping that this one is available open stock as well. So I think Faber-Castell offers them individual also, an open stock. So now I'm not going to do anything with my brush. Just going to clean it because I want to make sure I don't have the darkest because I'm going to work from the lightest to the dark. Okay. So that's how we're going to do it. I'm just cleaning my brush with a baby wipe. So there's a little bit of moisture in there. So I think I work better this way from the right. Do I work better that way? Or I think I work better. No, I don't know. I can't decide. So I'm just going to work here from my left, from my right to left. Oh, Lord. Okay. So I'm going to start from the inside and I'm really going to work it. Because this one is a watercolor paper. So as you can imagine, there's like hills and valleys, the texture of that paper. Okay. And then I'm going in with a metallic mint. And I'm trying my hardest not to go back because I don't want to pull all those colors to the light. So I'm just working, going down. So maybe where the two colors meet, it's okay. And then I'm going to flip this one because it can work better this way. Just like that. And then now I can work it, go a little bit up. And then I'm going to clean, look at that, all the colors. So that's why it's important to clean your brush. Okay. Oh, I started with the amethyst. This one is, if you don't have this, I think I added lavender also. You can use lavender as well, which I think I'm going to use because, again, the iridescent is not as opaque. So as you can see here, I think I'm going to use a little bit of lavender on top just so I can have a bit of a better mix. So you can use lavender color also. I'm going to apply it here, just like that. So you can layer them. Oh, I think that's much better. There's a bit more pigment than just shine and shimmer. Just, and then one thing that I really love is that if you feel like it's not as saturated as you would like it, you can just add layer on top of layers, right? So I'm just going to add a bit more. I'm blending it down. And the way I'm blending is in circular motion. I don't go up and down or side by side. It's just circular. And remember that the more pressure you do apply, is that the more you're going to pick up more of that pigment. So if you feel like you want the pigment to stay on the paper, so just be mindful of that pressure you apply when you start blending. And I'm going to do this technique again on a different paper, just so we can use another way to blend the colors so you can see. So now I'm not cleaning my brush. I'm just applying whatever I have left in here, a little bit of that lavender color. So I'm just going to blend it here as well, like that. And then pick up a little bit more here, blend it here. And just like that, you have that smooth gradient. Let's zoom out just a little bit so we can see. Now I'm going to clean it. As you can see, imagine if that's your desk. You're like, oh no. Look at my finger. They're like all purple. Spooky nights. All right. Now, what I want to do is that give it some time to dry. Once they're dry, I never had issues with smearing or, transfer onto the other page. I never had that issue. As long as you blend your gelatos, that's the key. You have to blend it or just let it dry. Or if you're really worried about that, then spray something after. If you need some shimmer or some gloss, you can use, what is the brand? I'm thinking of the brand. It's also sticky. I'm going to think of the brand in a little bit. But there's like different finishes that you can apply in here. Those work also. But I really don't never had that problem before with the transfer or anything like that, as long as you let it dry. Now, if you want to add a little bit of vignette, some dark going on in here, then you can use the black licorice color and apply just a little bit on the sides. This one is black hole. It's from the Iridescents set, but there's also like a pure black pigment from the Brights, which is the black licorice. So let's try just a little bit of both and see what we're going to get. Okay, so this is black licorice. So I'm just going to go just blend it. So we're just adding a bit more contrast in here. I love it. I love that. It just deepened the color. I really do. Now for the top, I think I'm going to use whatever is left on my brush. I'm just going to go very gentle, okay? I'm not applying so much pressure, and I'm also starting in the corners. So if you want to invest on some gelatos, we also have some future classes that we're going to be working with some gelatos as well. We have like junk journaling, scrapbooking, mixed media journaling happening. So that's I think next month. So we have that coming up. So if you want to grab some gelatos, we'll be using it a whole lot, really. We have the holidays coming up too, a little bit of card making. So, and look at that sheen and that shimmer. It's just, it's so pretty. I mean, it's so pretty. Now, this is one way, right? We're going to do another technique here that I like. I like to mix in my colors a bit more instead of kind of like seeing that gradient from the light. I mean, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, but it's just different. Now I'm going to go start another one here. And this time I am going to use the baby wipes technique. All right. So we'll pull out the lavender, same colors. Okay. So I'm going to grab lavender and I'm just going to apply it anywhere like this. This is the metallic mint, like that. This is the metallic grape. That and that will make purple anyway. So I'm just cleaning a little bit of my smudgies. Now I'm going to use, I wonder if I have another blue color in here. So let's just use a blue topaz, maybe a darker blue like this. So remember the colors that you're going to use, all of this colors, all of these colors will mix and blend really well. You know, so you want to avoid anything that's going to give you mud and browns, you know, they not so pretty colors. So we're going to use the baby wipes this time. I'm going to grab some baby wipes. When using baby wipes, I feel like you're going to use a bit more of your product than, you know, than you would like, just because you're going to blend it really well, but you're also picking up a lot of the products and onto the baby wipes. So we're going to show that. I'm going to show you that real quick. So I'm going to start with the lightest color here. Let's start with this. Again, it's the same circular motion, right? And I'm just going to go for it like this. I really, really love working with gelatos. I love it. I love the blending. I love playing around with the colors. I love playing with different sheens and finish. This one, the blue topaz, is a lot of pigment in there. So I'm not moving the baby wipes, okay? So I'm not moving it around the same. So whatever product is on my baby wipes, I'm using that to kind of blend and really get in there and add colors. This time, I don't really want to cover up my pink, so I'm going to adjust it and move it around a little bit. And so I can have a bit more of the pink color. And again, remember that you can blend it. You can add and layer on top of layer on top of layer here. So this is where you're going to see, I'm going to zoom it in. I am picking up a whole lot of colors and I'm pulling that color. And you don't want that because you're going to be left with the paper, right? So when you feel like, oops, when you see that, that means you're applying so much moisture or so much pressure. So it's either one of those. So I'm just move my finger so that I can avoid applying so much pressure in there. I'm just using the baby wipes now. I'm just blending everything. I love it. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to add some We should use the Galaxy or the Black Hole. This one we'd never used yet. This is the Black Hole from the Iridescent set because we used the Black Licorice earlier. So I'm just going to apply it in all four. It's kind of like making a frame or a border, framing it a little bit here, just a tad, and then apply more here and all the corners. Just apply a bit. And then the corners again, and just here. Right. So now we're going to use two techniques. We did the baby wipes first. Now I want to use the blending brush. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of moisture from the baby wipes so it's a little bit wet, right? And just working my way from the corner and just going to blend. And I'm going to show you that you can see the texture of the paper and see how smooth this one when I use the baby wipes. But see how this one, you can see a bit of that texture with the blending brush, unless you probably apply a lot of pressure to really smooth your blends. If you feel like it's not budging, you can go back in, use your baby wipes. I'm just going to use here and then blend it. See why I love the baby wipes? I feel like it's just the best way to blend everything. The gelatos is just much, much smoother and much faster also. I feel like you don't have to put in so much extra effort just to blend. So fast, so easy. Ooh, and I feel like, see, I'm going to add a little bit more there. The black hole. I love this black hole because it's not as intense as a black licorice, but it's dark and it has this very deep purple sheen to it. Maybe the camera is not going to pick it up, but it has that bit of that sheen. This one, I feel like I'm applying so much pressure. I'm lifting the colors.
Sandra is saying that it looks like you're putting a lot of pressure when you're using the blending brush. Do you find that
Yes.
it's like
Yes,
ripping?
I feel like I am actually applying more pressure with a blending brush because what happens is that it gets into the cracks of the paper, especially this one is a watercolor paper. So I really don't, what I'm trying to do is I don't want to see that texture of the paper. I really want to create that smooth, but it's much harder to get that smooth blending with a blending brush, which is really surprising to me right now. I am very much surprised because I would thought that I would get a much smoother gradient using this. But I feel like you're correct. I feel like I'm exerting more. This one I'm not because I've already placed some color. So this one I feel like, okay, I'm just blending it. I don't have to really get in there because the baby wipes already has done the part. So now maybe this is the very last part. So if you feel like, okay, I've gotten all my colors in there and I just want to create a much smoother gradient, then use the blending brush to the very last. There we go. Look at this. Look how smoother this one. And I don't have to work in it so much. So baby wipes first and then use your blending brush last. I'm glad you noticed that because, these little things are so important when you're working with a medium that, you're really not familiar with. A little bit of that extra oomph. So no matter what type of technique it is, it's like, oh yeah, that really does help. So now I'm realizing that the first blending should be the baby wipes just to really put down all the colors, lay down all your layers, and then blend last with the blending brush because look how smooth now everything is. It's just, it's gorgeous.
Do you find that it's pilling the paper, or would
No,
that
it's
depend
not
on
at
what
all.
type
Yeah,
of
no,
paper?
I
Would that
didn't.
depend on the type of paper you use?
This is the watercolor paper I'm using right now. I don't know if you guys can see this deep purple shine. This one is from the black hole, from the iridescent. So it has this purple mica powder that gives that, and it has that black pigment, but it has this deep, very deep purple like that. See how beautiful. Oh my God, so pretty. I'm gonna apply a little bit here. So what did we learn today? Apply and blend with the baby wipes. First, lay down all the colors and all the layers, and then use your blending brush last to create a much smoother. Oh my God, this is so pretty. So pretty. Just gonna add a little bit more here. Like that. All right. Now for the white parts, see, it's almost kind of like a galaxy also. So that's why it's like galaxy, spooky, skies. It works well. All that sheen and that shimmer. It's so pretty. All right. Now I'm going to clean. I like to clean in between because it gets so crazy messy that, and again, like what I said, I don't mind this part getting dirty because later I'm going to work on that other page or the back page. So right now I don't have to worry about that. Okay, but if you don't want to mess with the back of your paper, I don't know a solution to that. It might be a little difficult. Maybe slap in another cardstock and make it like cover it up, something, but I think you're going to have a hard time with that just because of all the mess of the gelatos. So for the white things, I have, let me see, we have a little bit of time, just a little bit. Um, you can use the Faber-Castell, the PITT Artist Pen in white. I love using this to create like perfect dots because you can get like perfect dots in here. Now, it can get a little bit of tedious to do this one by one. And I also sometimes really love that look of imperfect instead of like perfect dots, so, but if you're someone who likes to have like that really perfect circle, then the PITT Artist Pens, this white one, is really amazing, is really good. Now, if you have some acrylic paints, then you can use your toothbrush and sprinkle some white in here. That works perfect also. But another thing that I want to share, I just discovered, is that the Uniposca, if you want to use it and just kind of like tap it like this. Now, this one probably is dry now, but when I was tapping and then just shaking and all that, I would get some white splatters, right? So that's a little bit of a workout. And I don't know about you. I'm really not fond of so much workout like that. It also get tiring. And then last one that I want to share is the Copic Opaque White. Now, this one is really fun. I'm just going to shake it just so I want to make sure I have some light in here. And then I'm just going to tap it. Just be careful when you're tapping because it will go everywhere. So, but this is a fun way to have like imperfect white splatters in there. And you get like different sizes also. You get like big splatters, little tiny ones, and it's really opaque as well. So like that, it's almost like what you're saying. It's northern lights, it's a galaxy, it's a spooky night, so it's everything in between. And so make sure that you just dry it. Gel pens will work. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So if you have like metallic markers also, this one is from Faber-Castell. We have silver. This is the silver one, 251. So if you want to add like little tiny stars in here, like that will work. If you want some gold, then you can create like gold as well. I love adding gold here. I feel like the gold shows up much better. So you can add like little stars in there. So I'm just gonna hold off and I'm gonna wait for that opaque white to dry completely. The gel pens might be a little difficult to use with the gelatos because you know how sometimes the tip of the gel pens, they always give me a headache. I always have problems with my gel pen. It's like the inks are always kind of like stuck in there. So it's like, it's hard, but it's so fun to create with your gelatos because it's so versatile. I mean, we've tried so many different techniques today. We've learned so much. Um, and it's so easy to create the beautiful blends as long as you really practice and really find that perfect technique for you, because we're all so different. You might feel like, oh my gosh, I am, having a hard time with a blending brush, or I'm having a hard time blending with, using it as a watercolor, or, maybe the baby wipes technique, like my favorite, will work best for you as well. But we did both for this look. So we did, apply the colors, blended it with the baby wipes first, and then went in again and apply more colors and then blended with the brush. Works perfectly, like chef's kiss. So this is what we did. Now I can turn this into a bookmark. I love doing that, but I'm going to have to do the other side as well. So, but this is what we created. If you have any questions, do you have any more questions? I think it turned out so cute. You can add your lettering here. See how the gold, you can add trick or treat later on, or something, some quote, spooky nights or something like that. But I want to leave it blank because nothing is like, I can't choose right now. But the splatters are so pretty.
We do
Everything
have
looks
one
so good.
question.
Yes.
Someone's asking that Faber-Castell white they use, the first one. Do you find that that dries out easily, or like?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't leave them. I like to close my pens right away after I use it. Maybe that's why, but I don't think they dry up so fast. Now, the brush is a different story. That's why I think this big one is my favorite. The brush tip of the white Pitt Artist pen, sometimes I feel like that's a bit more dry than usual. So I think I understand what you're saying. But if you get the 1.5 or this 2.51, they're really lasting me for a very long time. And I use them a lot. So I use it a lot. So you can use this just dot, dot, dot. If you don't have the splatter, it will work also. And it's very opaque too on top of the gelato. So it's really good. There we go. I think I added more. There we have it. So thank you everybody for this, for joining us today. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that was inspiring. No matter what it is, no matter what medium you're using, keep practicing, keep playing with it. And as always, until next week, we hope to see you again, same time, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. My name is Leigh Bella Ralston. In behalf of Faber-Castell, thank you everybody. And Michael Stores, thank you everyone. See you next week. Stay creative and stay happy. Bye.